to office a new Prime Minister. Our beloved Queen has passed to be in the presence of Jesus. And taking her place is the new King, King Charles III. And we want to just pause at this point in the service and just honor the Queen and her legacy, to pray for Liz Truss, our new Prime Minister, and King Charles III. And so I just wanted to say this about the Queen. We've, as a family, for many years, just recognized the grace of God on the Queen's life and the safety of her covering over our nation. We've always been a bit nervous for the moment when the Queen passes, because the Queen was clearly a believer in Jesus, and her faith was her true north. Her belief in Jesus and his goodness and his kindness and all of the values of the kingdom of God seemed to accompany her life and her mission as our Queen. And so we've, as a family, over the last years, when we watched the Jubilee earlier in the year, getting emotional, thinking she's not always going to be around, and then somebody else will replace her. She's the defender of the faith, but we've heard her son say that he wants to be the defender of all faiths, and what does that mean? And so what I recognize about the Queen is that she has lived a life of devotion, a life of service, a life of love to her subjects. And throughout her life, there have been ups and downs. And I remember when she was in her 60s maybe, and there were some difficult things going on at the time, and people's opinion seemed to change towards her, but she just kept being steadfast. And she just kept doing what she does, just loving and serving and being faithful and just showing up. And she has become, over the years since then, somebody who people have a lot of affection for, and not just in this country, around the world. She's somebody who is a great example to us. And I loved what William said in his tribute to his grandmother yesterday, that she has been an example to his generation. Her values are from a time past, he said, but no less relevant today. And she embodies something. She has been like the constant when all of the things around us in the nation have been shifting. She has been the constant throughout all of that. And because of that, there's been a sense of safety and stability and security. And sometimes we take those things for granted while they're there, and it's only after they're gone that we miss them. But we want to honor her and honor her faith and her love for Jesus and her devotion and her steadfastness through many generations. So we're going to just have 2 minutes of quiet. And sometimes when we have like a minute silence or a 2 minute silence, that's a time for our minds to wander off. But we're all Christians. Well, most of us in the room today are Christians. And so I'm going to call this, instead of a 2 minute silence, I'm going to call this a 2 minute time of prayer and reflection. And so I just want you to quietly in your hearts just think of the Queen, and it might be that you, in this moment, want to say thank you. It might be that you want to pray for some of her family. You want to maybe think of her example and how perhaps your life could also be an example to others, and what she modeled is something that we can also model. So we're going to pause now just for a couple of minutes, just in quiet, and we're going to have a time of prayer and reflection.